Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Winnipeg Sports Car Club Fall Slalom. This is the 11th event out of a 12-event series run by the Winnipeg Sports Car Club. We're here in our in-city lot, all ready to go. My color commentator on my left is Keith Berglund. He's the chief driving instructor of the Winnipeg Sports Car Club. And we've got a full slate of 26 entries. And we're going to fill you all in on what slaloming is all about. So we're going to start our first car now. And Johnny Webb is starting him. It's Robert Leketman. He's driving a Corvette, and he's class stock 1. Keith is approaching the backside of the course right now, and we're working into a long radius turn. You were around the course earlier. How is his progress?
He certainly got a smooth run going there. I don't think it's going to be all that fast. I think he's sacrificed overall speed for smoothness, and he certainly has a smooth run going. Now he's getting a good take at the left-hand gate. He'll get his best speed through that back straightaway, but these larger cars tend to plow a bit on this turn here, and they have to come right back tight around to get through that gate. And I suspect that he doesn't get off to a good start after he comes through that gate. There. He's not pushing it too aggressively. This is a tight spot for them to get these cars into the gate, into the garage.
Just past our timer and score, and we'll have a time for you shortly. 1:17:39. Time on that run for the Corvette in stock 1 was 1:17:39. Our next competitor up. 7:39. Our next competitor up is Helmut Friedrich. He's running a modified Mini. Note that there's 2 sets of numbers, or 3 sets of numbers in fact, on this car. Oftentimes what happens is 3 members or 3 competitors share the same car. This Mini will appear twice more in today's program with 2 different drivers in it.
This car certainly performs well coming around that back turn to the gate. The car has a tighter turning radius and can handle that quite nicely, especially with the front wheel drive.
Right. Now, being in modified class, the classes in slaloming are based on the level of preparation a car has. Stock being the stock classes being the base level. That is to say, the car has not been modified from its normal showroom condition. Carrying all the way up to the modified class, which this Mini fits in. The Mini currently is running with racing tires. They're slick tires. And they don't have much tread, do they, Keith?
No, the typical ball-looking racing slick is at a fair advantage today. The track is dry and cool, and they're certainly getting a good bite on the surface.
Yeah. Helmut just finished his run in his Mini Cooper.
We didn't see full use of the racing tires. I think we'll see them on this next run.
We're all set to go. Our third competitor is Robert Zimmerman. He's running a V8 powered Corvair. Sitting in the back seat is I believe it's a 350, isn't it, Keith?
Yes.
It's a 350 Chevrolet engine in this Corvair.
The engine is mounted midships, that is ahead of the transmission, but all in the rear.
This Corvair is also in the modified class. Quite a bit of smoke coming from the inside of Bob's car. I don't know if he's
it appears he shut it down.
Problem. Got a few of our local trackside marshals and his assistants in there, sort of helping out. Yeah. Okay. I think we'll get a replay of him going by our mobile position, and we should have it up any time now. Perhaps we can detect what the problem might have been. Okay, he's picking up the run. How do you see it so far, Keith?
Well, he's getting advantage there of the slicks, allow him to slip around, and then the horsepower cuts in, and he really gets the advantage of the full acceleration. And both then it looks like he blew a rad hose or an oil line. Certainly filled the engine compartment, the whole cab with smoke. Can't tell what it is at this time.
No, they're
He had some
pushing the car off the track.
He had some problems earlier with some gaskets, and it's quite likely he's just blown another tap and cover gasket and put some oil all over the manifold. We had kind of looked for that car to be the perfect example of the use of racing slicks in this type of an operation.
We're staging another vehicle. A slalom works on the premise that there's only one car on the track, on the course, at any one given time. So until we move the Corvair, but it appears he's in a safe position, so we will be starting car number 4. That's John McCracken. He's driving the Corvette, and he's in Stock 1 class. This Corvette has a 4-speed. The first one we saw had an automatic transmission. What differences will this make to a competitor, Keith?
Well, it depends on the track and the individual driver. The automatic is very forgiving if you have a situation where you don't have time to shift the gears or the gear ratio isn't correct. In a situation like this track today is rather tight, and I would think the automatic would certainly be an advantage. But shifting, gain. These tight corners, it doesn't give the driver much chance to shift gears because he's being thrown sideways and poses quite a problem to go through the gears. Coming down under full acceleration, skidding the tires a bit as he turns and comes in through the little swish-wash and into the garage.
Yes, the competitors have to come to a complete stop in the garage without touching any of the pylons. And the time on John's run was 75:16. We'll attempt to get your time on Helmut Friedrich's run as soon as we can. Now, if we have one of our female competitors in car number 5, Eleanor Reno. She's running her Mazda GLC. Eleanor's been a steady competitor in the Winnipeg Sports Car Club Rally Slalom Series, pardon me, and she's a very fast competitor.
Nice smooth run, doing a very good job. See how she makes this left-hand sweeper. Very good. Tires squealing nicely, coming back right through the middle of the gate, around the pylon. Braking sharply through the gate.
Right.
Right, left, right, left. Away we go.
Okay.
Nice smooth turnabout on the 180-degree turn.
She has been noted for her smoothness the whole season long. She's fairly high up in the Sports Car Club standings in the Stock 3 class. This Mazda GLC is totally, completely stock, exactly as it arrives from the dealership showroom floor, and features no modifications. Okay.
Beautiful run.
The smoothness she's exhibiting coming into the slalom now is going to give her a very fine time.
Until she hit that pylon.
Yes, she did knock down a pylon. Just turning into the thing. Okay, Keith, you were out earlier, Keith, and we had a camera in your car, and you did run the course. So we're going to take a look at that now, and take a look and see what it really does look like from the inside of the car.
On to the first straightaway. Sharply around, heading toward the first gate, which will be a left turn, but I have to be set up so that I can get my maximum speed in the long sweeping drive out of this one. Moving to the right of the first pylon, sliding under full power, setting up properly at this gate, carry right on through, sharply around, but accelerating, not swinging too wide, so I can pick up the gate, get under full power, making a long straightaway to the right, to the left, carrying on through, making this straightaway as long as possible, coming down to the gate, turning sharply to the right, to the wigwag pylon set up, accelerating sharply. Bear in mind we have 180 degree, full about, do not plow, full power, set up for a long, back on the straightaway, left-hand gate coming up, brake first, accelerate through the corner, picking up speed and carrying on around to the right of the pylon, full sweeping power, set up coming back through the gate, left hand, swing wide, accelerate so that I can make full advantage of the longest run through the gate, down the back straightaway. Right hand pylon, left hand pylon, full power, kill off the speed, come around through the wigwag, and this time we'll have to come back to the garage, stopping in the garage.
Good stuff. Thank Manfred for his, we have to thank Manfred very much for his fine camera work. He stuck it out several times in that car, sort of being trundled around, and Keith was very impressed with the way he sort of stuck right in there. Up now we have car number 6. It's being driven by David Jung. It's a Cortina in Prepared 2 class. And we'll get our starter to start him off. And they're just staging him at his start garage. Should be leaving there any time now. This is a Prepared 2 class Cortina. It's the changes featured in a prepared class include modifications to the tires, larger tire size than the car originally came with, carburetor changes, possible engine modifications, and suspension modifications. We have a time for Eleanor Reno in her GLC. She finished the course in 77.50 seconds, and unfortunately she took a 2-second penalty for hitting one of the pylons. If you do touch a pylon, knock it over, displace it from the place it is marked on the course, you are penalized a 2-second time penalty. If you do touch any of the pylons in the garage, especially the end one, when you're coming to a stop, you are disqualified from that run. You will not be given a time. It's just to ensure that there is some safety in the car when it comes to the final finishing of your timed run. Keith, how's David doing?
Well, not too well. He's been plowing on corners a bit, more than he should be, and I think that he's scuffing off speed at the wrong place and swinging a little too wide. He's just going to have a little bit of trouble very slowly into the garage here. I don't know how his time is, but he had some cornering problems, which we didn't quite expect in a prepared car.
Give him the time. Give us the time. Okay, our next car up is John Jackson. He's running a Datsun 510. He's running the modified class. Essentially, this car has a full race engine in it. And have some racing experience up at Gimli Motorsport Park, and perhaps Keith can pick up on the commentary now.
Well, he certainly has the car well prepared, and the power is allowing him to break the tires free at the right time, and you'll see that he's using the full advantages of sliding and acceleration. The tire combination is working rather well for him, and using the power to break free and carry right on through. You notice he's on full acceleration as soon as he starts his turns, and that's really an advantage. He's making the run as long as possible, cutting around now. Line right up the gate, full power, and right back on through. Full power. Back off there so that he uses acceleration. get through the switch wigwag pylon setup. Very quickly into the grad. An aggressive drive by someone who's very much in control of his car.
Wally, a high sign every time you're ready.
My time. Next car up is the Mini we saw earlier. Paul Gage is driving it now.
4.53.
John Jackson's come across with the fastest time so far today with a 74.53. Very smooth run indeed. Paul Gage is running right now in the Mini. This is the modified Mini we saw earlier with the full race rubber.
Oh, he just ate up a pylon.
Hit a pylon, so he's got an automatic 2-second penalty.
He's doing it quite smoothly. He's using the full range of the engine. It seems to be geared right. Scuff down, accelerate, come right back to that gate under full power. I think he did that pylon wrong. And he's not doing that gate entrance too well either. Not too badly through here, not accelerating. Losing a bit of time through the right-left pylon.
He seemed to sort of give up a little bit there.
He overshot that 180 turnabout and actually plowed and had to lose a lot of speed there. And even going through this last gate, he was late in accelerating. If you're going to get advantage of that full long straightaway, you have to be accelerating as you approach the gate, and you have to be under full power when you go through the gate at the other end.
And he's just picked up another pylon for an additional 2-second penalty. So he will take a full 4 seconds in addition to whatever his time is, due to the fact that he's hit that pylon. You're watching the Winnipeg Sports Car Club Fall Slalom from our Clarence Avenue slalom lot here in town. The pylon that's down is back on the deep radius part of the course, and we'll stage our next car. Once the pylon is straightened around, we'll start our next competitor. All right, timer Linda Jackson, come over here with Paul Gage's time. 71.80 plus a 4-second penalty. Paul Gage obviously had the fastest time to date. He beat John Jackson by more than 2.5 seconds, but unfortunately, due to the fact that he did knock over 2 pylons, he will be penalized an additional 4 seconds for a total time of 75.80. For anybody interested in Winnipeg Sports Car Club events and motorsport events, you can get a hold of us at 257-8851. We have a hotline with a recorded announcement and names, places, dates of all our events. If you've got a sports car or just a performance automobile and you'd like to get out and use it competitively, we sponsor rallies, these slaloms, and we run several races up at Gimli Motorsport Park as well. We have an extensive social calendar. So we'll have that number up again for you later. Right now we're going to be starting Richard Carl in his Corvette. This is the Stock 1 Corvette that we saw earlier. This is also the Corvette with the automatic transmission. As Keith was mentioning, it does make a considerable difference on how you prepare for your corners. Keith, it appears the longer wheelbase cars have to take a definitely different stance coming through the short slalom here before the radius turn.
Yes, that's their disadvantage. There's not much you can do about it. They have to line up as they feel best, and the problem with a large car is that if you... Oh, he's pulled off. He's pulled off. Something's happened there, and it looks like...
Okay, we'll take a look at that again and pick it up at the front end just after the slalom and see if we can determine where the problem arose with Richard's Corvette. Here we are. He's coming back just exited the top of the turn. The car started to smoke, and it's difficult to tell, Keith.
Well, it kind of looks like smoking off of the exhaust system. He may
Yes,
have
this is
an
Richard.
oil spill somewhere in the engine.
Yeah, Richard Carl in his Corvette. They're examining the car now.
I think he's safely
Hope
off
to
the
see.
course. So
Yeah, I believe he is. We'll start Bob Reimerchuk in his Datsun 240Z in the prepared class. This is the Performance Unlimited 240Z. Bob has an import repair center.
you're seeing the full use of a lot of horsepower there.
Right.
And an excellent driver. Going through the gears. A little bit of plowing. This is a slightly heavier car than the smaller one, but well prepared, and the tires allowing him to get a good bite. Bob has just shown an example of how you have to be ready for those pylons. When you start doing the right-left switch, you have to be ready. It isn't a matter of knowing what to do when you get there. You have to be prepared in advance. The secret of all of these types of slaloms is knowing in advance how you're going to handle each and every corner. There he is coming around through the gate again. Just about took out a pylon. He's running right on the edge of control there. Braking hard, swinging through the gate.
Bob has extensive racing experience at Gimli Motorsport Park and has been placed in the top 3 in GT2 competition in the Prairie region with his Datsun 510s that he has been running.
I think he gained an awful lot of time through the tight part of the course, and it could be seen that he was doing that simply by knowing what he wanted to do, having the car set up in advance
Right.
so that it worked out right. He had a very fast entrance into the garage here.
He did, and he's also got the fastest time of day so far with a 72:47 in his Datsun 240Z. That's in the Prepared 2 classification. That's not completely modified. He's only got some suspension changes and some tire changes that elevates his Datsun out of the stock classification into a prepared classification.
That sounds like another automatic.
I believe it is. It's Dan Shaw and his Corvette.
It's hard for us to pick out the gear shifts down here if they are automatic. There again, he's having trouble getting through that right-left switch. I don't think they're setting them up right, and they pay for it when they get to the last pylon. Here they can show their large block horsepower, get a bit of a straight line on the way they can go. He goes down through the gate. He has to turn very sharp, plowing on the right-hand front tire. Powerful run along the back. Swinging too wide on the first pylon, which gives him just barely makes it when he comes around into the garage. A slow approach to the garage.
Well, as I mentioned, you have to be careful coming into that garage because any disturbance of the garage pylons results in quite a severe penalty.
You can pretty well tell how they're going to make it to the garage, and you watch how they approach the first pylon when they have to start switching right-left. If they are wide or fast to start with, they're certainly going to have a problem when they get to that last left turn into the garage.
Yeah, Dan's time was 81:65, and we have another Corvette coming up. Hamish Donaldson is running his Corvette, and this is the 4-speed Corvette we saw earlier run by John McCracken. Hamish has competed in several Winnipeg Sports Car Club slaloms over the past 2 or 3 years, and has also taken several of our high-speed driver schools. that the sports car club puts on, Keith being the chief instructor.
Very hard turn for these cars now at the end there. The bigger the car, the harder it is to turn tight like that. Neat, very neat. Really got to control that car. Coming around smoothly. Lots of space to spare. Hard on the power. Smoothly around the backside. Bit of tire noise there when he cranks it down and tries to turn around in that tight left-hand corner. Standard transmission shift there. Just about overcooked it on that corner. Coming in, he's got lots of room to spare here. I think he's going to make a nice entrance into the garage. Very smooth.
Nice stop. Hamish has put together a fine run. We'll see what the time on it is. Hamish's time is 72.45. He currently has the fastest time of day. He's beaten Bob Reimerchuk out by 2/100ths of a second. See Bob here shaking his head. We have car number 14 up next, Tony Bainton. He's running a Camaro, and it's in the Prepared 1 class.
I don't think he's driving that quite aggressively enough to the gates. He's not getting a good start on the long straightaway. Slowing down a little too soon there, taking it rather conservatively around that left-hander. Now he's on the power again. A little late there. You have to start sooner and make a long run. And there again, he's conservatively slowing down a little too soon for that gate. Plowing a bit through the pylons.
Seems to become a little bit more familiar on the second loop through, though. He seems to be more aggressive coming down through the gate and the back straight.
Oh, he did that one wrong. So he's picked up a little bit of time there because he took the easy way around the pylon. It's easy to get a good run if you miss the hard pylons. Very slow into the garage there. Stop. I don't think he'll have a very good time with that one.
Our next car up is going to be number 15, Greg Subry. He's running the modified Mini we saw earlier. And
yes.
And there he is staging the car right now. As you can see, this is competitor number 15, the third time this car has been used today. And this is Greg Subry, his Mini.
Off to a good start there. Got the tires broke free and warmed up. Bit of trouble with the gear shift there. Very good. He's doing the gate right. Full power. Just hardly slowing down. Bringing it around. On the power, even before he's to the gate. He's on the power. Around the course properly. Just slowing down. Shifting down.
Oh, he's caught a pylon. 2-second penalty.
The car seems to plow a bit when it tries to do that 180, and they lose a little time there. The faster gate, such as he just went through, seems to be just ideal. Get all of the pylons in the right order. Quickly into the gate. Would have been a good run, except that he went off course on that one backside pylon.
Keith, we have another in-car sequence that we'd like to show now. It's from the passenger seat of Hamish Donaldson's Corvette. which we saw just 2 runs earlier.
Line up to the first left. A group of pylons on our left marking a hole in the concrete. Come by our mobile position. This is a straight acceleration part of the course. You're getting on it as hard as you can as you come through here. Touching the brakes to come around a wide radius hairpin. Back through a gate. Now into the slalom section of the course. Now here's the actual slalom part of the course. In and out of the pylons. Very tight, very twisty. Smoothness is the key here. Back around for another lap. Okay, we're going to be putting a little bit more speed on coming down the back straight, as it might be called. On the brakes for the wide radius corner. In through the return gate. Gates are devices inserted in slaloms to make sure that everybody does indeed maintain the right sequence and order of the pylons. Back through to the slalom. The purpose of this slalom is to slow you down as you will be coming into the start-finish garage. Let's now come into the garage and come to a complete stop without disturbing any of the pylons. That's one run.
Well, we're back to live action now, and we have to thank Manfred Nickel for his run in the Corvette, which is a little bit more strenuous than our run in the Horizon, where we got to sit in comfort. Running in the Corvette, we were sort of tending to hang out a little bit too much, and a little bit sort of confined in the very back there doing the commentary as we were doing the run. Tony Bainton ran his Camaro off course, so he wasn't scored for his run. And if we can have a time on Greg Subry's Mini, we'll get that for you shortly. Unfortunately, Greg Subry was off course as well. From our vantage point, we can't see the end gate at the far end of the course, as it is around a corner from us. And as a result, we can't determine until the marshals clear a time if the competitor is on course. Starting right now in car number 16 is Al Rieger. He's running a Rabbit, stock Volkswagen Rabbit in Stock 2 classification.
You can notice the stock handling of a front-wheel drive car here. Watch that inside rear wheel when he turns. You'll see the tire actually lift right off the ground and stop turning, especially if he touches the brakes. Hard around, you'll see space right underneath the tire there. Getting a nice smooth run. These sharp left-hand, right-hand turns are what's interesting in a stock front-wheel drive vehicle. Watch him as he comes around sharply. That inside rear wheel is a good 2 inches off the ground, and yet he's taking it smoothly back on line and down through the gate, back around. He isn't losing anything there by having one wheel off the ground, because the front wheel drive is got a firm grip, and he's utilizing all the power there. Back through the right-hander on the gate.
It would appear that he's got a clean run so far.
Very quickly into the garage, very smooth. Nice run.
And we can have a direct comparison. Our next car up is also a Volkswagen Rabbit. Car number 17 is driven by Dave Granger. Dave is also a graduate of the Winnipeg Sports Car Club racing program. And we'll see if he can beat Al Rieger's time of 81:53.
I think you'll see a slight difference in the runs between these two drivers.
Yes, Dave is a CASC, Canadian Automobile Sport Club's national license holder, and he has competed in endurance races and various sprint races at Gimli Motorsport Park.
Very aggressive run.
He's quite a bit off the ground with that inside rear wheel. There it is again, up in the air.
He's had that wheel off in 6 different places there. Beautiful full power run all the way around. Both front wheels getting a solid bite. He's driving just like he doesn't have to worry about where the back wheels are. As long as he gets the front wheels going in the right place, he is going to have a very good run. Watch this one come on here. There's 3 inches of hair underneath that inside rear tire. Drops it back down. Swing right, swing left. Left again around the pylon. Little power and sucker into the grid. There we are.
Very clean run by
Beautiful.
Dave Granger. Dave's time was 73.73. Now that is only 0.7 of a second off the fastest time of day, and he is running a stock production vehicle in comparison with a Corvette. And Keith, would you not say that this is a long track suited for some of the higher horsepower cars?
Oh, definitely. The large horsepower, easy revving engines just have an absolute heyday here today. And to take a small vehicle like that and get that kind of time is really good.
We have John Webb, who laid out the course. John is the solo director for the Winnipeg Sports Car Club. The Sports Car Club operates under several disciplines, an ice racing group, solo events group, which slaloms are a part of and autocrosses are a part of, as well as the racing and rallying groups. There's also a karting division of the Winnipeg Sports Car Club, specifically designed to cater to the needs of go-karters. John seems to have a fairly quick run going here. He's also a licensed racing driver, having entered in competition at Gimli Motorsport Park. And he's running the Datsun 510 in the Prepared 2 classification.
Very good. He's using the power capability of the car, and there's virtually no plowing of the front tires. Got a good grip on the ground. He's actually getting the inside front wheel off the ground on a couple of those corners. Very fast, quick exit in.
Our next competitor up is also a former race license holder, John Beattie. He at one time raced an Austin Healey Sprite such as this at Gimli Motorsport Park. And he's been out of the racing game for a while, but he has been a constant slalom competitor. Johnny Webb has taken the second fastest time of day, 73.32 against 5:10. John Beattie's running bug-eyed type Sprite here in the modified classification. So he does have a roll bar, a very good safety feature to have for a convertible type car. All vehicles competing in the slalom must have the minimum 3-point factory safety harnesses. And in the case of modified cars, if they are indeed race cars, they probably have got a little too much power on that, wouldn't you say, Keith?
He overcooked it, a little too aggressive there, and it was just almost a foregone conclusion that he was going to get out of line.
Perhaps we'll be able to take a look at that one again and see exactly where he lost it.
Got the right idea, but it didn't work out quite right.
I think he does a little better this time coming through. A lot more cautious.
He tried it was scuffing off speed there at the last minute as he was turning, and he went in broadside and, of course, lost it. The old proverbial spin out.
Well, he'll take a 2-second penalty plus the lost time for having to get himself turned around the right way. It'll be interesting to see what type of time he will indeed have. We've got the spin out coming up. We take a look at it again.
Yeah, it's just simply a matter of going too fast into the corner, turning sharply, and breaking free.
John Beatty's time was 77.51, plus an additional 2-second penalty for knocking over that pylon, for a total time of 79.51. How long would you say he lost in getting out of the spin, Keith?
That looked like 5 seconds. Yeah, I think he had a good run going. He would have been right in within 1 second of those other two good runs.
That's right.
He blew it all in that corner. Even if he had not hit the pylon and spun around, he was still going to lose some time. He simply lost control of it at that point, got a little out of line.
Starting our next car, competitor Scott Wilson, the Prepared 2 Datsun 510. Same car that Johnny Webb just ran.
Very good. These guys are putting it right through the gate. They're scuffing off speed the right way and accelerating through the gate.
Well, he's picked up a pylon at the bottom end of the course.
Yeah, he overcooked it. He's flopping around out back out there. Quite messy. He lost some time there besides the pylon. As you can see, when something goes wrong, it's game over. You come very close to losing it on the gate, similar to John Beatty did on that last run. Coming around smoothly, a little bit of plowing. That tire digs in and the car tends to overshoot the corner. That car certainly takes that left hand through the gate nicely. I think they do the backstretch okay.
Keith, you're mentioning that there's a proper way to scrub off speed. Why is it necessary? I would think that you would want to be going as fast as you possibly could.
Well, you obviously cannot go too fast through a tight corner, and you either have to put on the brakes while you're in a straight line, or try to scuff it off by sliding the tires sideways as you go around the corner. Anyone can slam on the brakes in a straight line and knock off some speed, but it takes a little bit of skill to head into a corner and keep up with a reasonable shape of the corner and cut some of the speed off the top so that you can head on into that slalom section where you definitely have to be slower. If you go through a system of straight line braking and slow turning, you'll find that you haven't got a very fast run.
Yeah, our next competitor up is Dan Simons. He's running a Datsun 1000, and that's the stock 4 classification of competition. This car is completely stock, and we were just detained a bit in order that we could reset the pylon that Scott Wilson knocked over. And Scott did lose considerable time down at the back end, knocking that pylon over. He scored 78.28 seconds without his penalty. With his 2-second penalty for knocking over that pylon, he's looking at an 80.28.
Yeah, he was losing time because of the way he was going through that back corner. He simply was not fast. You have to get in there, turn, and come back out quickly. You can't plow.
The different stock class breakdowns are based on engine size, drivetrain configuration, and
Dan was off course there, so that's going to hurt his time. When you're coming around pretty fast, this corner is fast. You only have a split blink of the eye and you spot a pylon, and if you think that you have to be on the right-hand side when you should have been on the left-hand side, there's no correcting it once you make that wrong decision.
They all tend to look the same when you're coming at them at speed as well.
On a course like this, you'll see examples of understeer and oversteer. Again, I think he did that one wrong again.
Yes, he's definitely off course for the slalom part of the course.
I think he did it exactly wrong both times. I suspect that he has the wrong idea of where the course runs. So it's probably just not a judgment error, but he's not memorized the track properly. Unfortunately, there's no arrows on the track, and you have to memorize the course in the initial walkthrough at the beginning of the day and remember it for the rest of the day.
That's right. Our next competitor is Taki Bibile. in a Datsun 510, also prepared 2 car. Taki has some race experience this year in the showroom stock classifications at Gimli Motorsport Park. And we're just awaiting our timers to get in position. We're using handheld AccuSplit digital stopwatches. And we use 2 watches on every competitor, and the competitors then give it an average of the 2 times if there's any significant difference.
Well, I think he touched the pylon, but I guess he'd get away with that because it didn't move.
Yeah,
that's as close as you can get.
That's right. The criteria is if the pylon moves out of the painted marks in which it's in, or if it falls over. Each of the pylons have been spray painted as to where their position is. And if there's movement beyond the spray paint marks, then you're penalized the 2 seconds.
I think he was off course on that one again. I think he missed that backside pylon.
Well,
getting down a little too slow coming through that gate, and I think it's going to hurt him time-wise, too. Coming around fairly smoothly. Tending to understeer, which means that...
He has missed the gate. 2 seconds for that gate.
This car is plowing or understeering. That is, he turns the wheel, but it doesn't come around the way he thinks it should. He loses a fair amount. I believe he missed that pylon on the gate at the back, didn't he, Bert? Oh boy, he's even having trouble getting in the gate.
Yeah, bogged it a bit coming in there, and he has to come into the garage and enclose the car completely in the garage before he's considered as a finisher.
That's what is known as a bad run. You can watch all of these cars. Watch for the tendency to plow on the outside front corner. That is, the driver is obviously turning the wheel, and he wants it to come around, but it won't come around.
This is
it's understeering.
Donna Piasecki on the Winnipeg Sports Car Club Fall Slalom. This is the 11th event out of a 12-event series. We're here at our Clarence Avenue Slalom lot at the Winnipeg Sports Car Club, bring you its Fall Slalom. We can get Donna doing her run now. She's running in a Datsun 510, modified class 510. I was looking at this car before we began. It features twin Weber carburetors, headers, a lowered race-style suspension, as well as a few other tidy little performance options that places it into the modified classification.
Watch, this car suffers from this proverbial understeer. No? Just got to plow to get back around through those tight spots. We'll watch and see what happens here. I think you're going to see a little more plowing in that. Yeah, practically rolling onto that front tire. Hard around here, having trouble. It's bogging down, not smooth. They're losing a fraction of a second there simply because the tire won't grab and come around. A little late shifting on the power to the gate, lost a little time there. Every extra 5 or 10 feet you can pick up on the acceleration when you go through that gate will pay off at top speed through the other. Backing off the gas way too soon, way too soon. Ooh, little jerky.
Nice approach to the garage, and very fine run for Donna. We'll take a look at her time. It obviously makes a big difference if you do own the car that you're running in. You're obviously that much more familiar with it in a normal street situation. We're just waiting for Jim King to be staged. And Jim is running a full race Datsun 610. It's a GT2 car on the racetrack, or a modified car here at the slalom. You're watching the Winnipeg Sports Car Club Fall Slalom from our in-city slalom lot on Clarence Avenue. If you need any information on Winnipeg Sports Car Club events, you can contact us at 257-8851. That's the Winnipeg Sports Car Club hotline. It has a calendar of all our events, plus names and phone numbers of people you can get in touch with if you want to come out and compete, watch, or spectate. our Jim King right now in his Datsun 610.
Here you certainly have a horsepower situation. He has more than enough power to spare. He has the racing slicks, which give him lots of a fight and go. He has one serious problem, that his higher RPM camshaft doesn't allow him any torque at the bottom end, and if the engine ever bogs down, you'll see him suddenly jerk and shudder at slower speeds. So he's doing everything he can right now to keep his RPMs up, to keep those tires smoke-free. Even lifting the right front tire there. Oh, the engine is sputtering. He's having a problem there again. Bogging down. No. Gets back on the power, but as soon as it drops down below about 3,000, 3,500, he just has no power at all. Beautiful run when it comes out of power. On the other end, flip it around, keep the bracket solid differential in the back, which doesn't allow him any wheel spin.
Jim recently played 5th overall in the Canadian Road Racer Champions with this GT2 car, competing against Canada's best in the GT2 classes. And as you can see, the car is not designed for very tight maneuvering. It's designed for the all maneuvering of the racetrack.
Definitely hurt in a couple places by it bogging down.
Jim's time was 73.22. We have 2 late entries. Car number 25 is Ken DeRuy. He's running a Porsche Speedster, and this is somewhat of a classic. Let's see how Ken does. He hasn't had a warm-up time. All the competitors you've seen to date so far in this afternoon's broadcast have had one warm-up run. So far, all of our runs that we've recorded right now are faster than the competitors' warm-up run. So the competitors do gain some familiarization.
He's doing real good for an novice on this circuit.
That's right.
Very smooth. Goes down pat. This car is a collector's item.
That's right.
You seem to see it hurt.
You used to race one of these, didn't you?
I have raced them, yes. Very nice car to drive. Very powerful. This is the older 356B Series 4. 1500. Super 90 engine.